Hello students, now we are going to talk about only solids. Solids are classified on basis of arrangement of their constituent particle. One is crystalline solid and the other one is amorphous solid. Crystalline solids are those in which constituent particles means atom, ion or molecules are arranged in a definite pattern or in a regular pattern, and then we call as crystalline solid. Now you can see in both these images, constituent particles are arranged in a definite pattern or in a regular pattern, and therefore then we call as crystalline solid. The best example of this crystalline solid is table salt, which is called as sodium chloride, and also diamond. In case of amorphous solid, the constituent particles are not arranged in a definite pattern, means the arrangement of particle will be irregular. Now you can see in both these images how particles are arranged in an irregular pattern, means there will be no definite arrangement, and therefore then we call as amorphous solid. And the example of these amorphous solids are glass, rubber and plastic. Now we will see in detail some examples of crystalline solid. Snowflakes, diamond and table salt are the examples of crystalline solid. Constituent particles which are present in diamond and table salt are arranged in a regular pattern or in a definite pattern, and therefore then we call as crystalline solid, or they are crystalline in nature. If we talk about the structure of sodium chloride, here I mention this blue dot which indicate chlorine and red dot which indicate the sodium. The arrangement of the sodium and chloride will be definite. Now you can see the sodium is there, after sodium chloride, then sodium, then chloride, then sodium, means the arrangement of the sodium chloride is regular, and therefore it is an example of crystalline solid. If you see the structure of diamond, here also the arrangement of constituent particle is regular or definite, and therefore it is example of crystalline solid. So snowflakes, table salt and diamond, where the constituent particles are arranged in a definite pattern or in a regular pattern, and therefore they are the examples of crystalline solid. Or we can say crystalline solids are those in which we can see a uniformity throughout the crystals, and therefore then we call as crystalline solid. Now we will see some examples of amorphous solid also. Metallic glass, rubber, plastic, polymer and gel, these are the examples of amorphous solid, where the constituent particles are not arranged in a definite pattern, means the arrangement of constituent particle will be irregular, and therefore then we call as amorphous solid. Here in case of this metallic glass or rubber, the constituent particle arrangement will be irregular, and therefore then we consider as a amorphous solid. If you see the structure of this cotton candy, then the arrangement of particle will be irregular, means the particle are not arranged in a regular pattern, and therefore then we call as amorphous solid. So amorphous solids are those in which we cannot see a uniformity, and therefore then we call as amorphous solid. Now we will see in detail what are the differences between crystalline solid and amorphous solid. Crystalline solids have definite and regular geometrical form. It is because the arrangement of constituent particle is regular and definite, whereas amorphous solid do not have definite and regular geometrical form. It is because the arrangement of constituent particle in amorphous solid is irregular, and therefore they do not have definite and regular geometrical form. Crystalline solids are true solid, whereas amorphous solids are pseudo solid. Pseudo means fake, and are considered as a supercooled liquid. The best example of this supercooled liquid is glass. Crystalline solids have sharp melting point. It means that they will melt at particular temperature, whereas amorphous solid do not have sharp melting point. It means that they will melt over a range of temperature, and therefore they do not have sharp melting point. Crystalline solids have definite heat of fusion. It is because the arrangement of constituent particle is regular and definite, and because of that the bond which are present in between the molecules are same, and the energy we require to break these bonds also same, and therefore these crystalline solids have definite heat of fusion, whereas amorphous solid do not have definite heat of fusion. It is because the arrangement of constituent particle in amorphous solid is irregular, and therefore the different bonds are present in amorphous solid, and the energy we require to break these bonds are different, and therefore they do not have definite heat of fusion. Crystalline solids are rigid and incompressible. It means that the force of attraction which is present in between the molecules is same because of the arrangement of constituent particle is regular and definite. Whereas amorphous solid may be compressed, it means that they have the property of compressibility. If you talk about the example of amorphous solid like rubber, then it can be easily compressed and therefore the amorphous solid may be compressed. Crystalline solid on cutting with sharp edge tool, they will give a clean cleavage. It means that they will break into two pieces but with plain surface. Now you can see in this image, crystalline solid shows cleavage property. It means that they will give a clean cut after cutting with sharp edge tool. Amorphous solid give irregular cleavage. It means that they also break into two pieces but with irregular surface. Now you can see in this image, amorphous solid does not show cleavage property. It means that they will do not give a clean cut after cutting with sharp edge tool. Crystalline solids are more stable as compared to amorphous solid, whereas amorphous solids are less stable. Crystalline solids have long range order, whereas amorphous solid have short range order. Crystalline solids are anisotropic in nature and whereas amorphous solids are isotropic in nature. About these two properties we are going to learn in detail in next slide. The examples of crystalline solids are sodium chloride, diamond, sodium, gold, copper, graphite and ceramic, in which the constituent particles are arranged in a definite pattern, in a regular pattern, and therefore they may be called as crystalline solid. Amorphous solids are those like rubber, plastic, glass and tar, where the constituent particles are not arranged in a regular pattern or in a definite pattern, and therefore these are the examples of amorphous solid. Now I will explain in detail what is meant by isotropy and what is meant by anisotropy. Iso means same and tropy means property. So isotropy means same property and anisotropy means different property or not same property. In anisotropy, value of physical property change with change in the direction. It means that if we change the direction, there will be change in the physical properties of solid takes place. In isotropy, value of physical properties do not change with the direction. It means that if you change the direction, there will be no change in the physical properties of solid takes place. Both these properties I am going to explain with the help of one example, that is refractive index. Here we are going to see the values of refractive index will be same or different throughout the crystal if we change the direction. So if we pass the light through a direction, so here you can see the same kind of particles are available. If we pass the light through B direction, then here different type of particles are available. In A direction, suppose we think, then same kind of particles are available and therefore they have one kind of physical property. If we talk about B direction, then there two type of the particles are available and therefore there will be a different physical property. It means that in both the directions, because of availability of particles are different and therefore they will show different properties. It means that the values of physical property change with change in the direction, that is called as anisotropy. Now suppose we pass the light in amorphous solid through a direction, then here the arrangement of particle is not regular, and also suppose we pass the light in a B direction, then there also the arrangement of particle is not regular. It means that from both the direction the properties are same because the arrangement of particles are same and therefore they shows isotropy. And isotropy, it means what? The values of physical properties do not change with the direction. So you have to always keep in your mind, anisotropy means the values of physical property change with the change in the direction, and isotropy means the values of physical properties do not change with the direction. Now we will start with new topic of solid state, that is isomorphism and polymorphism. Actually these two are important characteristics of crystalline solid. In isomorphism, word iso means same and morph represent the shape or form. So first we will see what is meant by isomorphism. When two or more substances having same crystal structure are said to be isomorph, and the phenomenon is called as isomorphism. Such compounds are called as isomorph of each other. So you have to remember that when different substance exist in same crystalline form, then this phenomenon is called as isomorphism, and these compounds are isomorph of each other. Now we will see some examples in detail. In first example, NAF, NABR and MgO, these three are isomorph of each other. It is because these three exist in cubic crystal form. In second example, NaNO3, CaCO3, these two are isomorph of each other. It is because these two exist in rhombohedral crystal form. Usually atomic ratio of isomorph is same. Now see in example, in front of NAF, NABR and MgO, atomic ratio is 1:1. It is because in NAF there is only one sodium atom and one fluorine atom, and therefore the atomic ratio is 1:1. In NABR there is only one sodium atom, one bromine atom, and therefore the atomic ratio is 1:1. In MgO there is only one magnesium atom and one oxygen atom, and therefore the atomic ratio is 1:1. Similarly, in NaNO3 there is only one sodium atom, one nitrogen atom and three oxygen atom, and therefore the atomic ratio is 1:3. In CaCO3 there is only one calcium atom, one carbon atom and three oxygen atom, and therefore the atomic ratio is 1:3. Therefore it is called as, usually isomers has same atomic ratio, but it is in some case it is not true. So you have to remember that isomorphism means two or more substances having same crystalline structure are said to be isomorphism. Now we will see some characteristics of isomorphism. In crystalline solid, arrangement of particle is regular or similar, and therefore these isomorph have same crystalline shape or form. Also, these isomers have different physical properties and different chemical properties. It is because different chemical composition of isomorph. Now we will see the second characteristics of solid, that is polymorphism. In polymorphism, word poly means many or different, and the morph means shape or form. So first we will see what is meant by this polymorphism. A single substance that exists in two or more form or crystalline structure is said to be polymorph, and the phenomenon is called as polymorphism. Such a shape or forms are called as polymorph of each other. Polymorphism is referred to compounds only. Here are some examples of polymorphism. Calcium carbonate forms calcite and aragonite. Silica gives alpha quartz, beta quartz and crystallobite. And the carbon, which is actually element, and therefore it gives allotrope. So allotrope of carbons are diamond, graphite and fullerene. So you have to remember one thing which is very important. When element give different crystal structure, that time it is called as allotrope. And when one compound is exist in different crystal structure, that time it is called as polymorphism. It means that in this case the calcium carbonate and silica are the polymorphism, but the carbon is actually a allotrope.